Hello, we are Geeks Assemble, and Susan's joining me today to sit down and discuss a pretty old movie from
Oh,
1932, um, but now is
just
known
about
as
100 years old.
nearly, yeah. It's thought of as a classic in its own right nowadays, um, starring the man himself, Boris Karloff, in another silent sort of role with Morgan the butler. This is the old dark house of a story of on a stormy night. Strangers have to take shelter in a house where there's this strange family who've got secrets, and we will go from there. Susan, over to you.
Well, first of all, first time I've seen this, first time I've heard of this one. Second thing was this was Universal. It was one of those Universal horror movies that this one didn't really have a monster in as much as the house itself was super eerie and Morgan was super eerie. Morgan himself really was kind of gruesome and later gruesome figures like Morgan were there was one in one called the Manos, the Hands of Fate, where there was a guy named Torgo in there, which just could have been his cousin, his brother, whatever. And Boris Karloff was great in this. He properly frightened the ladies and triggered the guys to all sorts of levels. And I was amused to hear that this movie was supposedly full of sort of gay signaling.
Really?
Yeah, like Sir William and Penderell, and the fact that the family name was Femm, Femm. I mean, I just heard that there was lots of that, and that the women, the uh the great uncle or whatever, Sir Roderick, was played by a woman named Elspeth Dudgeon,
Mm-hmm.
and credited in the credit as Douglas Dudgeon. Or
Yeah, I don't. I don't
John Dudgeon. What the hell? I mean, that's like as near to that whole Helen Hunt thing as possible. I just I couldn't miss some of that stuff, and some of that stuff was really interesting.
hmm.
Yeah, it was it seemed like it was like a predecessor, you know, whereas like Flight 52 or whatever was the predecessor of Airplane or whatever. Um, this one was seemed to be the predecessor to Rocky Horror Picture Show. You got all these people kind of gathering in this house and stuff, and yeah, so there's some captured intimacies, especially with what's her name? Rebecca Femm,
Hmm.
uh, when Lillian goes into change. No, not Lillian. Yeah, Lillian, when Lillian goes into change. Or was it Margaret who changed?
It was
Anyway,
it was Margaret.
Margaret went into change her clothes into from something, more outdoorsy to a sort of satin gown, you know, what was it? Rebecca Femm went, no, yeah, Rebecca Femm went in there and was just like, you know, coming unglued about sin and stuff and the house being all sinful and stuff. And then she just reaches out and doesn't, she just touches her. It's really like it's one of those intimate things. I just noticed that was noticeable and awkward and stuff. It it wasn't but it wasn't violent. It was just really sort of taking advantage of her fear and stuff. And it just felt like she was just reaching out to want to touch her skin. And, you know,
Yeah,
anyway, it was, yeah, Margaret didn't, couldn't seem to get rid of her, couldn't seem to get her pushed out of the room. Anyway, yeah, so all those things to be said that this had awkward moments and interesting moments, and I just, you know, I enjoyed it. Uh, yeah, over to you, Lee.
yeah. I remember watching this years ago. I've seen the remake, the 1960s remake,
Oh,
um, but the original. Always go to the original first to do it. Directed by James Whale, who in the Universal days created some classic movies: Frankenstein,
mm-hmm.
uh, Bride of Frankenstein, Invisible Man. Um, this, of course, working again with Boris Karloff. Um, yeah, it's based on a. I think it's based on a novel or a short story by J.B. Priestley, who
Hmm.
I'm sure we did. Did he do an Inspector Calls? I'm sure we did that a few months ago on audio. So
Oh yeah,
he did, yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So
Yeah, yes.
and I was watching this, and it had the same sort of vibe as um an Inspector Calls. There's one setting, so well, mainly one setting. The living, the dining room, the lounge, and these people just there finding about themselves. So there was that sort of similar feeling to it. Um, and well, I got the feeling that this could have been, it could be a play. I don't know if it's ever been done as a play. Because
Because it's all in that one room.
yeah, I mean, there's what maybe there's a one bedroom scene, um, and in that one room, really. I mean, it may have been done as a play, but I don't really know. Um, yeah, Boris Karloff as the dumb Morgan with his scarred face. The way he just it's the way he just looks into the camera lens. You know what he's thinking. You know what he's going to do. Uh, Great actor. And never ever give him any alcohol.
No,
he
he's a bit of a troubled drinker.
was, yeah. So you got Melvyn Douglas as Penderell in this, Raymond Massey, a well-known name in film and TV, Raymond Massey, um, Gloria Stewart, and you've got Charles Lawton in this. As William Porterhouse doing his finest Yorkshire accent. And I get what you say about the gay undertones with that character. So it's he doesn't ask for anything from was it Gladys? Yeah, it was Gladys, wasn't it? He doesn't ask anything, doesn't take from her. So yeah, I got the gay undertones there. Um, but yeah, it's very atmospheric,
Yeah.
and the way it's lit and the storm effects.
Hmm.
Just as you said, there's no horror monster. The family is the monster. Not just the one who's locked upstairs, her soul, but the sister and the brother, they're monsters as well.
Hmm.
Um, and it turns out that Morgan is Saul's jailer and sort of carer,
Yeah.
really, because he cared for him. But yeah, it's an interesting movie. Uh, it's become a sort of a cult classic now. Um, and many movies what followed has taken certain tropes from this, and you can see it in other movies. Dinner around the table with strangers and looking at each other's question, not knowing who these people are, and have a potato. Uh,
Have a potato.
have a potato. Uh, which that the actor who plays it was Horace, was it? The actor who played Horace, Ernest Thysgear or whatever his name is.
Uh-huh.
Um, he appeared in Bride of Frankenstein. So James Whale,
Yeah. Use the
uh,
same actors.
he uses the same, which certain directors of this day and age do. Off the top of my head, Tim Burton always goes to the same people.
And you know, uh what's his name? The one who does um Pulp Fiction,
Tarantino.
Tarantino.
Yeah,
He always uses the same actor, and as did David Lynch when he was alive.
yeah, yeah.
The interesting one of the interesting things about the family was that was shown was that there weren't any like married couples in the family.
No,
They're all siblings and sort
yeah.
of uncle.
Brothers and sisters, and
Yeah,
yeah.
really interesting.
I mean, going back to the lighting, one of the scenes was where what's her name? Uh, Margaret is left alone in the dining area, and
Hmm.
she's shadow playing on the wall, birds and all like
Hmm.
that. And all of a sudden, um, Rebecca Femm's shadow appears. She's not even in the room and starts doing.
Yeah, because she won't leave her alone.
Yeah,
She practically like haunts
yeah. That was a
Margaret.
great thing because you saw her leave. She went out. She wasn't in the room, and the shadow just appeared. And I thought, wow, that just a great scene there.
Mm.
Really well thought out that. So, any scenes for you? What stand out?
Well, yeah, the whole thing reminded another movie that it reminded me of was Clue, or Britain, Cluedo,
Cluedo, yeah.
because of the sort of strangers gathering for dinner type deal. The other thing was uh it was the difficulty in the drive-in, like where the hell are you going with roads that bad? Oh my gosh. And
Well, that's what
the
the
other,
roads are like.
what'd you say?
I said that's what the roads are like in Wales.
Oh, yeah, okay. And the other thing, and I enjoyed the scene where they're all sitting by the fire, and Horace stands up and was just like, uh, "This has got so you guys have to leave or something." And then is it Melvin Douglas, Penderell? Yeah, he was like, um, "You you can't kick us out. There's no way to go. The there's there's been a landslide behind us, and we're stuck here. Oh, and there's floods ahead of us. We're stuck here." And you just are like, "Mm, there's going to be mischief." And when when they're going down into that basement area, that was crazy.
Mm.
Yeah, I enjoyed yeah, it was enjoyable. That I don't really have very much, but go on. What's your favorite moments, please?
It was as you say, the scene with Sir Roderick Femm. I mean, I don't I don't know why they had a woman playing him. I thought, is this going to be a twist? Um, but no, there was no twist there.
Mm-mm,
No, and then I'm thinking, so this is supposed to be a man, but sounds like a woman. Um,
mhm,
she didn't really disguise the voice.
mm-mm.
Uh, yeah, that was a strange scene. Um, but for me, it was just the conversations they're having. Charles Lawton, well, not well, he was sort of pompous Yorkshire working class, come from working class beginnings, but became a sir. Um, and then you've got the Gladys falling in love with Penderell in front of Sir Horace, that's Sir William, should I say? Um, which was, you could see he was letting her go.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think this is where you get the gay theme from, because nothing was ever going to work out with him. Um,
Right.
And so for me, it was the table scene. Have a potato and the pickled onions. How many did pickled onions did she put on a plate and shove in her mouth? But yeah, but for me, Boris Karloff, we've not even saying. I mean, he grunted and growled, but without saying any words, he every time he was on the screen, you paid attention.
Hmm.
He stole, he chewed the scenery.
Hmm.
I know he was a big guy. He was a tall guy. Um, I mean, that's something to do with it. But he just, there was just this presence when he was on screen, and so and that you've got to. But these certain actors don't have that. There's only a few actors what once they come on screen, that's it. You just you don't pay attention to anything else. They're just there,
Hmm.
and there's not many actors what can do that. And they say this movie is nearly 100 years old.
Hmm.
So Calaf was from the old school of acting,
Hmm.
but yeah, an awesome. Yeah, like had an aura around him. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But yeah, all in all, I'd say I enjoyed it. I said there was no, as you said, no monsters. The humans were the monsters.
Hmm.
Um, it was something different from Universal, which was because at that period there was starting the Universal monster movies, wasn't there? And
Right, right. Yeah,
this,
like that's why Karloff was getting
yeah,
his paycheck like all the time, is that he was tapped for all these great monsters. Yeah.
um, and this one is just like shoehorned in between Frankenstein and I don't know, maybe Bride of Frankenstein, but it's a more gentle, but not it's not horrific like Frankenstein is or anything like that. But the horror is there on human nature.
Yeah, and the difference with some, like when he played Dracula and stuff, you could see his face in it. The problem, this one, you just, he had a long sort of oval face and stuff.
Yeah,
This one, you just couldn't see any structure because it was so covered with hair. It was so hirsute in this.
yeah. Well, he didn't play Dracula; he played Frankenstein's monster. But
He didn't play Dracula.
no, that was Bela Lugosi who played Dracula.
Oh, okay, okay,
Boris Karloff played the Frankenstein's monster.
okay. But there was a different one than where you could see his whole face. What the heck was that? Um. Anyway, the important thing is to is to realize that in this one, that just what he just was disappeared under all that, the makeup and the effects. It was
Yeah,
great, and there were some special effects like the wall and like the lights and like um
well, the rain, the flooding.
they
Yeah,
went out to the car to get
yeah,
something, and it was just they can't like they sat out there in the barn for a while,
yeah.
and she took off her shoes and he put on these like like just I think it was some of his shoes or something
Yeah.
and you know
And they fell in love.
and they fell in love. Yep.
So easily done it.
Yeah.
So anything else before we go to Fountain Score?
Um, maybe it was like Juggernaut or something like that. Like they play the doctor who is like, in a lab coat or something. I just I just remember what like you there is like a movie that you can see his whole face, but you can't see um Boris Karloff's face at all in this, and so that was really good. The
Mm.
other things that were it, it was like it was like it was a different time. Like these folks were able to like sort of impose that's a good word, impose on this other family while just
Yeah,
being out driving around the countryside. I don't know, that was a different time, I suppose.
you you wouldn't even these days you'd be turned away, wouldn't you? Get off, go away.
Yeah, and in the US, if you just pull into the wrong driveway, you get shot.
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, it's just different here. I just yeah, there were so many. I mean, he Karloff was just getting started in his getting famous through monster phase, and I like this movie because it was something different. It was something I hadn't seen before,
Well,
and
I thought, oh, I've always wanted to rewatch that, and here's a chance to do it. So
yeah, good one.
I did one of the scenes. Well, back in the day, well, in 1932, health and safety wasn't a big thing, and the scene where Pendrell and Saul are fighting on the balcony with the flames on the tapestry, you could see the actors with their arms and hands going into the flames on the wall.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
yeah, I'm thinking, wow, that won't be allowed today.
Yeah, special effects. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they
they
were
were
they were in
real,
danger.
they were real flames. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, all done differently today.
Hmm.
So, can we go to final same score?
Sure.
Okie dokie.
I will give this I'll give this eight satin gowns out of 10. I enjoyed it a lot. I hadn't seen it. It was it was a cool addition to what I've watched now. Yeah, the it, it was an imposition of these guys on these strangers, and boy were they strange. So that was a cool thing. And yeah, I like the fact that there are strange people in this world. So enjoyed it, and I'll give it 8. And Lee, what's your final saying score?
I enjoyed it. It was good to sit down and rewatch it again. Compared to the classic Universal stuff of that era, it's not as good as what other people know. Frankenstein and Wolfman, but I'm still going to give this, because of the performances, mainly by Karloff, and the way it was eerily shot. I'm going to give this 8.5 potatoes out of 10. It's it's still worth a watch to see one of the classic horror actors chew the scenery.
Mhm.
Which he is. He is one of the classic horror actors, and we don't seem to have them these days. Yeah, we don't. We don't. We
Uh,
don't. We
there's
don't. We
that guy who plays Freddy,
yeah, but I'm thinking.
Robert Englund.
Yeah, I'm thinking of because you classics what made Karloff and Lugosi and Price, Cushion, Lee. You know,
Hmm.
Cheney and
Hmm.
Cheney Junior. Um,
Hmm.
those that era. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Robert England, but you see, there was more than a handful there. What I named, Robert England sort of stands there on his own.
Right.
We don't have that
Okay.
many. We don't have that many these days. But there again, have many. We don't have many great horror movies either, to be honest. But not like the old days, not like the black and white days. So yeah, so that's our little review of the old dark house. Um, if you've seen it, you guys, if you've seen it, let us know what you thought of it. If you liked it or you disliked it, we don't mind. Just leave a comment on this video, which we share across the board on the social media. So you'll find us Geeks Assemble. You may have found some of our other videos when you're searching as well. And have a look at those. Um, Also, if you want to be on our little team and appear on our videos, leave a message. Just
Podcast
I would like
day.
to be. Yeah, we do podcasts or vidcasts on a Sunday night in the UK at 9 p.m. So that's what time is it for you, Susan? That's
It's 4 p.m.
4
Eastern
p.m. Yeah,
time.
Susan's time. Yeah. So we
Yep.
can fit you in. We can fit you in if you're over the pond. Um,
Hmm.
we may struggle if you're in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just leave a message saying you'd like to be on. All we ask is that you be 18 and over, because some things,
Mhm.
what we watch or listen to or whatever, are 18 rated. Um, all you need is a working camera and microphone on the device you use. And one final thing, if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, always remember to press the bell notification button, and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video.
Did you hear that?
No, no. Um,
Rats.
it only makes a sound when you're using your phone. I don't know why.
Hmm.
Strange.
Very strange.
Anyway,
Maybe there's a noise canceling on this laptop. Anyway.
maybe so. But yeah, so
Oh
that
well.
yeah, so this is the cast done now, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And so until next time, stay safe.
Be careful when you're driving in the countryside in England, and just, choose your dwelling really carefully. Oh my gosh. Mm.
There you go. Some wise words from Susan there. Bye for now.